Hello, Swivel Heads. It's Greg Allison with Swivel Head News. My friends, the world is going crazy. The Mideast is burning, about to explode. And we'll talk a little bit more about some new videos that come out on the T-Man event from the 13th of July. Welcome to the 1st of August. These videos are getting very difficult for me to do because I'm working late and getting up really early, and it's already really late. So there's just so much going on. I just had to bring you something tonight. I can't do this regularly anymore, but I'll do what I can. So I'm gonna refresh here to see who's in the chat room here. Got to refresh this whole thing, and we're gonna go straight to it here. Just give me a minute so I can see who's in here. I got to knock out the sound. We got one watching. Wow. Uh-oh. Did I lose it? Oh my God, what happened? Just send me the notes. Oh, this stuff's aggravating. That's from so sad. There we go. There we go. Well, let's get into it now. We're just going to go straight to the news here. Give me a second. Share. Bada bing, bada bang. And here we are. Everybody's, oh, these screens are crazy. I suppose everybody's heard now about what happened with the first Israel striking into Beirut and into Lebanon. It hit Hezbollah's senior military commander. And that has triggered Hezbollah, and it's also triggered Iran, but that was just the beginning of woes. This guy was Fuad Sukkar or something like that. But it's more than just that. This guy is the guy that's alleged to have been the mastermind of the Beirut barracks bombing, and back in 1983 when our barracks in Beirut got bombed, back when Reagan was president. So this guy's been around for a long time. He was the military commander for Hezbollah. So this was a top hit. So we were expecting Israel to hit. Some people think this is it, but there's rumors there's going to be a lot more to come. The Saudis are talking about 3 stages of attacks that Israel will be performing on Hezbollah. And furthermore, we'll just go all in there. Let's just go. And then Israel struck straight into Tehran, the capital of Iran. They took out the political leader of Hamas. This guy right here. Yes. And furthermore, they apparently sent a missile or something right into his bedroom where he was staying in a special place there in Israel. This guy, Ishmael Haniyeh, I don't know if that's how you say his name, Ishmael Haniyeh, he was the political leader of Hamas. Now, some people think that this indicates that Israel does not want to negotiate a peace deal with Hamas, and all their negotiations are for naught because, hey, George, because this guy was really he was the guy in charge of the negotiations, apparently. But the fact that they did this in Tehran is kind of like a twofer for Israel. They have essentially hit Iran and Hamas simultaneously. And this is like a special message to Iran. And the biggest message may be that they could sneak something into Iran, into their capital, and pull off an operation like this. These are 2 high-level leaders of the so-called axis of resistance, the Iranian proxies that were taken out back to back by Israel. And that's got to have the leadership of the proxy organizations kind of quaking in their boots because they know they're all targeted. The leadership is targeted. So, they're not just bombing barracks and ammo depots and troops and training grounds and missile launchers. They're going for the heads of the snake. There was a commander in Israel, the Israeli Defense Forces, that basically said, hey, that's what they needed to do. They need to go for the head of the snake. That guy was talking about Iran directly. So some people think that because they went for the leadership like this and tried to minimize civilian casualties, if this were the extent of it, that it would mitigate the tensions for full-blown war. But Iran has called for a strike on Israel, a full-blown strike, bigger than what took place back in April. where they attacked with like 300 missiles and drones. So we'll have to see how all this pans out, guys. But Khamenei said to order direct strike on Israel after Haniyeh was taken out in Tehran. So there you are, my friends. This is really getting serious. So we got a super chat already. Well, Michael, I really appreciate that. Thank you, sir. Have a coffee or beer on me. Well, it would be a coffee, but I just want to throw my coffee already tonight. I've got some tea here. I'll get some more coffee tomorrow. But I appreciate that because that helps. All righty. Let's keep going here. So first, that's your third super chat on live stream. Well, thank you, Michael. Salute to you. All righty. So, guys, I'm going to try to get through these fast tonight. I got a lot of stuff, but I'm going to try to go through it because I got to turn in. Uh-oh, what's happening here? Here we go. Iran Supreme Leader. This is another article saying that he's calling for direct attack on Israel. So we might see, and this is not going to happen overnight. You got to remember when they did that 300 missile and drone attack, it took them a few days to stage that, get all their stuff together to make an attack like that. So these things don't happen immediately. They don't happen overnight. It takes a bit to stage that. It's probably going to take a bit for Israel to stage whatever they want to do with Hezbollah. But can Israel really fight the Houthis, the Hamas, Hezbollah, other proxy organizations that are out there, fight Iran all at the same time? Probably not without dragging us into it. We'll talk more about that in a second here. But yeah, the talk now is this is going to trigger an all-out regional war. There's talk of this triggering a World War III coming out of the Mideast, including Iran. Hey, Jacob, Michelle, you don't know me, Mom. Good to see all you, Chewy Weather. All right. Hezbollah. Now, Hezbollah is not a lightweight opponent. They have massive arms from Iran. And I reported to you guys the other day that they're even talking about having EMP weapons to attack Israel with. You might remember several months ago, I said Nasrallah said he could make missiles rain down over the entirety of Israel. And that would probably strain. Right now, I'm in Alabama, but I'm trying to get back out to Arizona. So I got to get this house empty so I can close the deal on the sale. So that's something I'm struggling with while I'm working. So it makes it even harder to do these videos. I had to really think if I was going to do a video tonight because I got so much to do, but just so much is going on. So you may see there may be spells where you don't hear from me, guys, but I'm okay. So Israel has got also encountered the tunnels. Hezbollah has a far more extensive tunnel network than Hamas had. They have far better missiles, lots of them, because they've been supplied directly from Iran. And Iran has really good missile technology, if you haven't noticed. Not in Arizona yet. I'm trying to get back out there. All right, Middle East crisis. Netanyahu says Israel will issue a harsh response to going on hot strike. And he was saying that as they were striking. So, we're talking here, this is a claim, kind of what I said earlier. Israel's declared war in the Middle East, a conflict it cannot hope to win. Well, not without the United States. But hey, never fear. John McCain, the late great John McCain's former wife, that's how I like to refer to Lindsey Graham. He used to always follow John McCain's shadow everywhere he went. He's called for a military force against Iran over the Hezbollah threats. And to back that further up, the Secretary of Defense, Lloyd Austin, has said if Israel is attacked, we will certainly assist in defending it. So this is coming from the Secretary of Defense. So there you go. U.S. issued warning as is not prepared for an all-out war with Russia or China. So here we are looking to defend Israel. We've already shot over 800 missiles trying to play whack-a-mole with the Houthis, and our munitions to fight China, now we're looking at both Russia and China, are very low. In fact, it's only projected it would last a week or two, only if that. So how are we supposed to wage a war when you only got enough ammunition for a week or two? And now we're talking about both Russia and China. Russia and China right now are exercising a major naval exercise, a joint naval exercise in the North Pacific, mainly as if to challenge Alaska. Putin has just recently come out and said, well, Alaska's ours. Well, good luck taking it, but that's a whole nother story. So I don't see that happening. So I don't mean that literally good luck to Russia taking Alaska. Now, there's been times Alaska would like to break away from the United States, but they don't want to join Russia. Yes, Michelle. Thank you. All righty. So, yeah, as long as you're seeing this bookcase behind, but I'm going to set that bookcase up in Arizona too. All right, the U.S. Striking, but the U.S. has already taken a strike into Iraq and taken out 4 because they thought they were going to launch on American base over there. So we are engaged in that area already. We've been engaged with the Houthis. We're engaged with fighting Iranian proxies in Iraq and Syria. We've been doing that. Anyway, so, but you got to bear in mind, Hamas has groups right here in the United States, Hamas, Muslim Brotherhood networks right here on American soil. Now, we know they got a lot of sympathizers. We see the protest quite a bit now, quite a bit of them. But how many of them are radicalized? We know of sleeper cells. That's what you got to watch out for. We're going to talk also a little bit. Thank you for sharing that on the My Patriot Supply there, Michelle. Mag Rising, how you doing? Anybody hear anything from Shaggy? Shaggy was taking a big long hike from Alaska. I hope he's doing well. I think that's a very dangerous thing he took on. We've not heard from him since he left. All righty. Israeli assault on Hezbollah and Lebanon occurred in 3 phases. That's what I was talking about. So first, we're going to go after the leadership in which they've already started of Hezbollah, and they are going to hit. There's some coastal road they're going to attack. Then it will be a more full-blown attack into Israel, into Lebanon, including into an area close to Syria. Is what they're talking about here. So, oops, I shouldn't be showing pictures. It's got buildings messed up. That gets me in trouble here on the platform. But I never like scrolling through this stuff. Anyway, well, that was a quick scroll. We didn't linger on it. Hopefully, it's not going to cause me a problem. This article here is our former CITCOM chief here in the United States saying Iran should think twice before they attack Israel because of the way, the last attack went down. They fired 300 missiles and drones and only 2 got through. And then Israel fired 1 back, just 1, apparently long-range drone and missile or something, and took out one of their very vital SAM sites, surface to air missile sites, that was defending their nuclear facilities. So it was kind of a statement, look, we can reach you, we can tap you, even though you have a hard time tapping us. And that this attack, they took out this guy here, Ismail Haniyeh, or however you say his name, the political head of Hamas, was another indicator of that capability. But how much can Israel sustain it? We know their fighter jets really can't get into the middle of Iran all the way from Israel without refueling somewhere along the way in order to get back. So somebody recently thought maybe a fighter jet from Iran did this. I don't think it was a fighter jet. It might have been a drone or something else. And it could have been a drone launched missile. We have our Predator drones that can launch missiles. So anyway, so this is Times of Israel. So the guys, Iran-led Axis likely to launch joint attack, but can't reverse Israel's gains in Gaza. So yeah, we got to expect this is really about to pick up. More articles, guys. This is time to prep. You can check out what Michelle sent in here. The link on the she sent a link for My Patriot Supply, and now a link for the gold backs. I'll show you again in a minute. Hey, Arnold. Yeah, you need to get seeds too. I haven't talked about that a lot lately, but check out my links to True Leaf Market and check out my links to Eden Brothers They do have some sales going on for stuff you would be planting in the fall and in the summer, late summer. But check those out. Heirloom seeds, both of them, and use my links to those when you do it. I don't know if I'm going to be posting links tonight on my video. It's so late. But all right, in the European front, first U.S. F-16s have arrived in the Ukraine. Just a few of them. As we saw earlier, the Ukraine only has 6 trained pilots for the F-16. So how are they going to make a big difference when you only got 6 Ukrainian trained pilots, unless some of them are being piloted by NATO fighters? And whether they are or not, that's what Russia will accuse. And if it's several of them, definitely they're going to think that. And they're also of the opinion that these will be operating out of NATO bases, because they make the point that these fighters have a lot of maintenance requirements that Ukraine can't meet. So this could be the beginnings of a deeper involvement of NATO nations. It could pull NATO into this war, and maybe that's what they really want. Maybe that's what they're aiming for. But to prepare for this, Russia is on the 3rd stage of their non-strategic nuclear drills. What that means is they're tactical nuclear weapons. They're drilling with them. They've been doing this for some time. This Iskander M missile, we've talked about that before. That is one of their main missiles that can shoot. They're the shorter range ballistic missiles. They're for battlefield, for tactical, and they are capable of sending nuclear warheads. So, hi, Linda. Yeah, I'll check the chat in a little bit, guys. Preparing for war. U.S. moves massive armor to Poland after Russia conducts naval drills in the North Pacific. Well, Russia's still conducting those. It's not an after. And this major move of armor had to be planned beforehand. We're talking columns of fighting vehicles moving into the center of Poland. So, guys, everybody over there is gearing up. Are you getting ready? Are you getting prepared? That's the big question to say. Yeah, here we are. Russian state TV slips an ominous threat, our Alaska. Yeah, we bought it from them, but they're claiming because we held their money back and, in the SWIFT system that we have violated good faith, and that invalidated that we owe them. Yeah, I don't think Alaska is going to go to anybody else willingly. So that would be, you take out a U.S. state, that's definitely war. So, hey, Michelle is sharing a lot of good links. Thank you, Michelle. And Michelle did give us a good super chat last time. I'll check the PayPal shortly here. All right, guys. So, Leaked Rogue, we'll change the United States because I put civil war in this, and the tensions in this country are off the charts between the left and the right. Yeah, I've said before that we're essentially in a cold, maybe not so cold, civil war right here. It's not a full-blown civil war, but it is. The tensions are just rippling. It could get worse at any time, no matter who wins in the fall. Because the other side is not going to be so accepting, I don't think. It's likely to be a close election. So look out, guys. You need to be prepared. But this Secret Service sniper claims that there's at least 5 high-level supervisors in the Secret Service that needs to go. And because of the mistakes they've committed, because they've shown their weaknesses, it's practically an invitation for somebody else to try another attempt on the T-Man. Now, that could well be, especially with all the hatred and rhetoric and so many people posting stuff. I told you earlier, there was a poll that said 25% of the Democrats were wishing that that operation had succeeded in taking Trump out. That is crazy high number. So how many radicals are there out there that might try that? Guys, this guy ran on the roof. I'm going to show you that. He actually ran on the roof of the building. Video from Trump attempt here shows the victim figure moving on the roof moments before. And actual video, he actually runs across this roof. Now, that's not quiet. That's loud when you're running on a metal roof. And then his head pops up over here. This is where his head popped up, very visible before he started, before shots were fired, whoever fired whatever. How in the world was this man left on the stage? There were police running around with guns drawn out there around that building over here. Police were running around with guns drawn. Oh, yeah, the guy who took this video was one of the survivors that got hit twice, James Kuppenhaver. He got shot twice. He's the man that actually took this video. There's more and more videos coming out, guys. So it might behoove you, if you go to an event like this in the future for better documentation, to focus your videos on all around and for anything suspicious. And if you see it, stay locked on to it. Don't just, all these videos are here, there, and everywhere. People just aren't locked on, or they're ducking for cover. Somebody needs to get good video if anything happens again. Walked on roof roughly 3 minutes. You would think somebody on a roof that has a clear shot at the podium 3 minutes ahead of time would be enough to get this man off stage. There were so many things, so many warnings. Why did the Secret Service not take this man off stage? They claim, we didn't know. While people in the crowd were pointing at the top of the building and shouting and yelling and pointing at the Secret Service agents and pointing to the roof. And they said that Greg Smith guy, I believe is his name, he said the Secret Service guys saw us. And they were looking at us and their, viewers, but yet nothing was done. Why wasn't this man taken off stage? If nothing else, why was he not taken off stage? Is that not crazy? This one claiming they had a 2-minute warning, according to this article. But you keep seeing oh yeah, that's where people were already shouting. He's got a nug. I'll call that. Flip the letters around. You gotta be careful what you say on here. And according to this article, the new director of the Secret Service, Ronald Rowe, was a key person in making the decisions that limited resources for the Trump campaign, according to this article. But furthermore, he was actually in charge of the decisions made for the setup. So just like Kathleen, what's her name, resigned, he should too. She only resigned because she was about to get impeached. And here, there he is. Admitting it. No agent assigned to Trump's July 13 rally has been fired. Where's the accountability? Where's the accountability? Shouldn't somebody have been fired? No, they don't want to fire their people. And Senator Mike Lee said they lied to us. Yeah, why was he allowed to take the stage even? So there was enough data that he shouldn't have been allowed to be on the stage in the first place. That is that's pretty obvious. But CIA kind of says, well, hey, why did the CIA even make a statement on this? CIA says, hey, we didn't do it. We didn't do it. It wasn't us. Of course, when they start making statements like that, that makes you wonder as much as anything. Okay, then why did you come out and say this? This is coming from the same guys who told us that fake Steele dossier claiming Russia that was sponsoring Trump the first time he ran for president, that Steele dossier was real. Now we know for a fact it was not. But there was 52 top federal agents and heads of departments that signed that. And now they're in denial. Yeah, right. We don't believe anything they tell us. And maybe it wasn't the CIA. Where there was phone data from the Heritage Foundation, one of their subsidiaries, found a lot of electronic devices that were visiting crooks were also showing up around the headquarters of who? I'll just say it backwards. The IBF. Strange stuff. I don't know, guys, but it's just a lot has got to be answered for. A lot has to be answered. Yeah. Didn't know the kid ran across the roof. Yeah, he ran across it. I've seen the video. I don't want to play it here. I can probably get in trouble, but he ran across the roof. And then he ducked down and come back up. He might have, guys, that makes a lot of racket. How in the heck was that allowed? Now, this is Raw Story is a very anti-MAGA rag, very anti-Trump, very anti anything but real left-wing stuff. And so there's this claim that the shooter was anti-immigration, anti-Semitic. So they're trying to paint him now as a right-wing guy, but the people are citing the so-called social media sources here. Says, well, we don't know if these are valid. Yet it comes out as a headline, major article, as if that's the case. But the probably the best evidence of any social media is on Gab, and the Gab owner says this guy was quite the opposite of that. So I don't trust this. I think this is just dispersion, misinformation coming from that side of the house. But they get a free license to do that kind of stuff. Over here, we don't have a license to tell the truth. All right, Venezuela. If communism is so good, how come the people are leaving Venezuela in droves? Guys, but anyway, they're sending, but the crime rate in Venezuela has went down, especially the murder rate. Murder rate's way down because they're sending all their criminals to the United States. I never fear they can't get here. Our border czar is taking care of that, right? They can't get in this country because our border czar. We got the best border czar in the world. She's taking care of that for us. She's so good. She's running for the top job in the country. What do y'all think? C-Mac, you might be onto something. Both his parents were mental health people. Who knows? Who knows? That wouldn't surprise me. They were both in the mental health profession. That seems to be a common denominator. Some isolated young man and connected to mental health profession in some way or another. That's just somebody on psychotropic drugs. These kind of things are just a recurrent theme in these kind of events. And they always want to blame the bang bangs. No, there's something else to it here, guys. Anyway, so this new Venezuelan gang that is said to be the worst one is really getting here in the United States in droves. And people are claiming that you really got to watch out now. These guys really attack. This is another reason you need to have your own security in place. You need to take care of your nugs, feed them well. So it's really strange that the party that wants to throw the borders open, allow this in, let the sleeper cells in, defund police, wants to also take up your nugs. Isn't there something wrong with that? Does that sound right to y'all? There's something really off with that. So we did a vote, Article 5. That's how we got NATO help in Afghanistan and Iran. I don't think Iran had anything to do with that, but that's another story. Well, Venezuela's in flames over this presidential election because the population there think that the opposition candidate Edmundo Gonzalez Urrutia, however you say that, won the election by landslide. Yet Maduro says, no, I want it. So, that's the problem. Once you vote socialism in, getting them out, or communism, getting them out is a tall order, tall challenge. But we're on the verge of this here, guys. We're on the verge of letting these guys in. Venezuela army captains urge military to stand up to the dictator. Yet, as you might imagine, the high command is supporting him in Venezuela. So we'll have to see how that turns out. But we got a Republican representative from Florida saying Maduro will get swift justice if he detains the opposition leader, which is a typical thing that dictators do. So, guys, with all the events going on in the world, I think the price of gold is set to go up. So you might want to give this a consideration. Defy the Grid. Michelle posted links to it earlier. So check that out, Defy the Grid, because they got a deal here. If you find a better deal somewhere else, they'll meet it or beat it. There it is. And they sell bullion, coins, silver, gold, platinum, the bars. And I like the gold bears just because in gold it's a small amount, a small quantity. It's fungible. You can actually spend it, buy, everyday stuff with it. You don't have to take a gold bar and a knife and scales with you everywhere you go. It's already metered out. Like this is 1/1000th of a troy ounce. Buy you a couple loaves of bread, a couple of 12 packs of eggs, even with the price of them going up. Because the gold is staying pretty steady. The dollar may be falling, but gold is pretty steady right now. So, and it seems I'm thinking the price of gold may soar. Anyway, the good news is that if the T-Man gets reelected, Kim Jong-un is supposedly willing to resume nuclear talks. So maybe we can get some cooling off in that theater. We know that the T-Man wants the war in Europe to stop. He will support Israel. He doesn't want to stop the war in Europe, and he would try to negotiate peace over there with Kim Jong-un. So there's some hope. And Lord knows some of the houses up in D.C. and the Beltway do need cleaning. And just to kind of, look at the humorous side of things, Newsom and Musk are feuding, and they're feuding over some AI video of Kamala. Somebody did an AI video of her, and basically kind of challenged each other to a fight. Newsom and Musk. Well, good luck with that. Musk says he'll chicken out. Talking about Newsom. Newsom says he's going to pass a law against doing AI for parodies. Well, parodies have always been legal. So I don't know. Anything that throws dispersion on them. But there's some bad news from Musk. More than half of Teslas are being traded in for gas cars. EVs just ain't there yet, guys. That's what I've been saying. They're trying to force us into this. Now, you know what? It's great to have it as an option for people to voluntarily choose if they want one of these. But on the other hand, to force it down our throats, like the new Green Deal that a certain person running for president is supporting, and to tell us that we got to get rid of all our gas burners in 10 years is insane. Our grid can't handle it. Our infrastructure can't. We don't even have enough copper in the world to make the engines for them. Yet that's what they're trying to force. And yet the people that's got them are trying to trade them in. What about that? A lot of them. All right, Michelle. Hey, Michelle, appreciate that. I'll check that out in a minute. We're almost done with these. I'm not going to go into the weather and everything tonight because we're going to finish up here. And, it takes the Russians to tell us this stuff. The opening, Macaroni, the president of France, and the governor, Gavin Newsom of China, they remind me of each other. They look a lot alike and they act a lot alike. Maybe they're robotic twins. They're both out of the house of Klaus, if you know what I mean. Well, they had this woman here as the representative of Jesus Christ in their opening ceremony. And some people are critical of her. Now she's suing. So really, wow. Takes the Russians to tell us this stuff. Oh, well. And, just if you're real happy with the government, when they come for your tax money, they got 93,000 agents they've hired to come shake people down. Just bear in mind that 5,800 of their employees owe nearly $50 million in unpaid taxes. These are guys coming after your money. Now, is that hypocritical or what? You tell me. If you really trust the government, hey, the American Indians got something they could tell you. Better listen to American Indians. They might tell you a few things about great trust in our government. Anyway, or the descendants of the people that were experimented on in Tuskegee. In case y'all hadn't heard about that. Free speech, fat Jesus. Hey, I believe in free speech, but that was blasphemy. It was, why are they always trying to insult Christianity? Why? If free speech I can see, but that's, they had a guy that was nearly naked running around, and somebody went, I don't want to go all into it, but hybrids are the way to go. Yeah, hybrids are a pretty good choice, and apparently the people that's got them are pretty happy with them. You get both worlds. So, in any event, well, I'm glad to see that battery technology is advanced. At some point, if we can get power, if we can come up with more sources for electric power, then we might be ready for some of this stuff. But right now, we're just not there. I mean, if we can get fusion, or if they come up with the microgrids for the smaller nukes and build a lot of them, or the liquid metal reactors that recycle nuclear fuel, which I've talked about in a video on my I think I did on Galactic Greg's channel. I've had a couple of guests in talking about the technology for that, and how that could actually be a lot safer than what we got today, and get rid of a lot of this spent fuel that poses a problem if the grid goes down. To me, that's a win-win situation. And recycling fuel means you got more fuel to run a lot longer. I think we need to be going that way, hand over fist. But there's no push for that. They're only pushing for solar and wind, and to shut down fossil fuels, but they're not really pushing the kind of technologies that they need to be pushing. It's like they can't add. They can't figure out, and the AI, all the server farms are building is going to gobble up a lot. Elon Musk says that we don't have enough energy production in the United States. We'll run out in a year or two just because of the expansion of the AI systems. They gobble a lot of energy. They're building these huge facilities around here in Huntsville for just giant buildings that are nothing but server farms. Anyway, I saw a big bird eat a joint. It was high bird. Oh Lord. All righty, let's see. I'll go through some of the chat. Now, let me check, because I know Michelle has kicked something in most likely. So let me check my PayPal here real quick and see. I like to give credit where credit's due. Get a donation. Let's see, what's my password here? Ding, ding, ding. I have to think about it. Somebody got so many passwords. Oh, that's a PIN number. Well, oh, I'm in the wrong spot. No wonder. Ping. Here's the password. Ding, 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 ding. Michelle Young, August 1. Thank you, Michelle, for this super chat through my donate button off my Green Greg's website. Appreciate that. 10 buckaroonies. Thank you, Michelle. All righty, folks. Yeah, I got to get the sack, guys, because I got to get up in a little bit. I will try to check through some of the chat here. And then we got in the room only 58. Let me do a refresh and see if that's right. Sometimes it don't really show you where we're at. No, I guess that's it. We only got 58 in the room. And only 44 thumbs up. Guys, they really don't like me dancing. Hey, we got a super chat. John Taylor. Thank you, sir. Yeah, it's been a while. I appreciate that, John Taylor. All right. So let's see what folks are saying here. Yeah. Mag Rising from Alaska. Has anybody heard from Shaggy? Michelle, has anybody seen him on the Discord site? Has anybody heard from Shaggy? He was going to take a big hike he was hiking from Alaska to Texas. And he was going to carry a cart with a big yurt tent on it, which I thought was insane. I know cars pass going around blind curves on the Alaska highway. It would scare me to death to be having to pull some hand cart all the way. And that's a rough road. I don't know how you could do it, to be honest. It's gravel. Lots of it. There's hundreds of miles of just gravel. I mean, big gravel. Pulling anything over that would be exceedingly difficult, especially if it was heavy yurt. Yeah, so there's talk that there may be another event on him. Michael, sorry, Greg tried to soften it. Well, thank you there, Michael. I appreciate it. All right, run on. Yeah, let's see. Oops. Hang on. There's a video of the father walking with a small person with a hood, mask, and sunglasses. Oh, weird stuff. Yikes. Technology is still the better choice. Yeah, it's a good choice. I mean, guys, if you're up in Fargo, North Dakota, and you get stranded on the interstate in a blizzard, you're gonna be in trouble for an electric car. Your life's gonna be at risk. So being a critic is free speech. Amen. Being a critic is free speech. So how can she sue them? How can she sue them? Thorium-based molten salt reactors worked excellent. Well, you can do molten salt reactors with uranium. We need to reprocess all these spent fuel rods. We got enough fuel if you do that to last for a long time. Not enough, UI server, not enough. I won't get much tonight, that's for sure. 4 hours used to be my typical. Some nights I wouldn't make that though. I'm trying to get a little bit more. It's just getting rough on me, especially when I got a lot of detail concentration after doing my job. Sometimes coffee only helps so much. The Mormon pioneers pulled hand carts through the Rocky Mountains. Yep, they weren't facing two vehicles coming around a blind curve. I swear, I drove down the Alaska Highway, and every time I was driving, pulling a rig. This is in 1983. I had a F100 pickup truck with just a 302 engine, a little C4 transmission. It was a quarter-ton truck. I had a half-ton in the bed, and I was pulling a 21-foot travel trailer. I put a transmission shift kit in it and a transmission fluid filler before I took that trip, just to make it easy on the transmission. Still blow out my speedometer cable up in somewhere in the Yukon, no, in British Columbia, blew it out, and I didn't get it fixed till I got to Eugene, Oregon. I was trying to find places before I hit the United States, and nobody had the part. And I didn't want to stop in Seattle or Portland, the big cities. And when you live 100 miles from the nearest rail out for 2 years, you really don't want to deal with anything in a big city. You just want to get through it. So I waited. I got to Eugene, Oregon, pulled over to Ford Place, and got it fixed. But I'd be going around a curve, and I would if somebody was behind me, they would pass me every time without hesitation, going around a blind curve. No hesitation. Every single time. It blew my mind. And I knew that was not always a successful adventure because I would see the burnt out hulks off the side of the road where they pushed them off the road of cars, usually two trucks pulling travel trailers, where all you would see was the frames of the trucks and the frames of the travel trailers, because you carry a lot of fuel up there and you got the propane tanks. They would have head-on collisions, explode, and burn. So there was collisions. So how would you have to, every time I came to a curve, I hugged the road as far as I could on the right and prayed. Because I had my two kids with me, and I was not happy with that. Seeing that really incensed me. I did not like that. And so I would not want to pull a hand cart on a rocky road, realizing that I might meet that coming around a blind curve. That the Mormon pioneers didn't face. But yeah, they did pull hand carts. That was a tough trick, and they did it. Greg sending good vibes and love your way. Well, thank you. Rodney's in the house. Very good. Tracy Broken Wings. Greg, you must come on when I've got off YouTube. Cut some still. Hey guys, I'm gonna show you something. I've been digging through things and I found some stuff I hadn't found in a long time. One of them is something I generated. I used to generate thousands of these. And I was real good with these, so good that I could tell you exactly what it said without it being printed on top, just by knowing the hole pattern, because I knew binary coded decimal, which was the forerunner of ASCII code. You know what this is? I found a stack of these in my stuff. Now that's got printing on top. This was a header of a Fortran program that I wrote. So y'all know what that is? That's how we used to put data in a computer. You didn't have these things connected to a computer. You had them on a machine. What kind of machine was that? I'm not seeing any chat. Maybe you guys aren't picking it up. 49er. And one other thing I'll show you guys. Give you guys some. All right. Yes, Michael, you got it. Computer punch cards. Amen. You got. Wow, you even found a punch card logo. Is that what that is? Or some kind of tag? Now, I've told you guys in the past that my collegiate sport, my Olympic sport, was math. And I wasn't kidding you. I found my certificate of appreciation. UAH is a major engineering school here in North Alabama. They got a major math department. That math department selected 3 people to represent it in a math competition. And I was one of them. It was myself. I told you I had an Iranian study mate in school. That's him, Payman Arabshahi. And Marcus Pendergrass. He was actually the only guy in the math who was actually a math major. Payman and I were both majors in electrical engineering. Payman went on and got himself a PhD in electrical engineering. So, and this was given to us by Claudio Morales. That was the guy who signed the certificate. He was the faculty advisor with the math department. Mathematical competition in modeling. We placed in the top third of schools across the United States with our solutions that we came up with, our mathematical modeling. And I was just happy that we beat Cornell, which was Carl Sagan's university. Yeah, we beat Cornell. Yeah, I was real happy with that. So, schedule number 4, watching from the beginning, but thought I'd say hello from Southern California. Won't be able to hear you. Can't hear? Oh, God. I hope my sound's okay, folks. Oh, my new job's great. Okay. Who's this? Oh, that was a technical exposition that used to have in Huntsville a lot called TABS. It's run by a Huntsville organization known as HATS. Interesting. Oh, I didn't even see that before. So I'm finding stuff I hadn't seen in years as I'm unpacking. So that's the funny thing. Finding things I haven't seen in years and years. A lot of pictures and other things. So in any event, yeah, I showed you that mathematical thing because I did a video where I was putting some mathematics in a spreadsheet and talking on one of my channels, and some wisecracker viewer says, I don't want to hear mathematics from a worm farmer. Oh, yeah? You got no clue who you're talking to, lady. I aced every single math class I took at UAH. And when you're an engineering student, you take a lot of math. It's almost a math major. Cornell was your mama's alma mater. Okay, cool, Dixie Doodles. Mathematical. Well, sometimes I refer to statisticians and especially people that work with reliability. I had a good reliability friend. I used to always refer to him as a mathemagician. Numbers don't lie. Numbers don't lie, but you can manipulate them and tell lies with them if you're a statistician. It just depends on how you phrase it, what part you emphasize. Yeah. So the statisticians have a saying, how much do you want me to sharpen my pencil? So your room is cleaner than it's ever. Yeah, well, that's because we're taking stuff out. All that stuff that's up there is boxed up. We got more to box. The cabinets over here are boxed up. So this is the last room I'm really tackling because it is my operation center here. It's my nerve center. Now, just remember, notice, keep this place clean and orderly. Well, I got that cabinet from a government disposal cell. Company used to run those auctions called Bentley's. And this cabinet was used for one of the companies that made the mission patches that flew on the space shuttle. And I found all kind of parts in there and pieces of the same cloth they put in those mission patches and parts they used in, I guess, cutting them or measuring everything out. A lot of little aluminum strips. I still got a box of those aluminum strips. So I don't know if I should sell it for scrap aluminum or keep it as a memento. Anyway, so folks, I got to go. I really got to go. Looks like you've been packing everything. Yeah, I'm moving. I'm moving to Arizona and working full time and moving to Arizona. So it's a real challenge. Anyway, guys, so yeah, it's tough. And my day jobs is taking a lot of my time. It's a very time consuming thing I'm doing. Very time consuming. You were going through a tough lot. Take care. Well, I'm trying. Yeah, I am stressed a lot. I'm not being able to do hardly any videos. And there may be another dry spell coming. I've just done 3 now together here within a short span. But, I don't know what I'll be able to do. I will try because other lemon strips or I can't read the bottle or some parts or UFO parts. Oh, yeah. Well, I've seen some strange things in my life, guys. I have to tell you, hey, we got Norway in the house. Very good. Hey, Tony, how you doing? Nobody's said anything about Shaggy. I guess nobody's heard from him. Michelle, have you heard from Shaggy? Have you seen anything on? I know you go to the Discord site. Fair better used to. I don't even know how to use Discord, so that's the reason I haven't been in there. I don't even know how to get back into the chat room session. I've got to have training on that to use it. And right now, I don't have time to train for that and to learn it because I'm too busy doing other stuff. One day, maybe we'll get it going, but I'm behind on that. It may be a while because I'm working, moving, and I'm going to be kind of wrapped tight around the axle for a while. Neighbor state, live in Nevada. All right, very good, Linda. Maybe I'll get up in Nevada and do some visiting one day. Anyway, I had some friends of mine. I took a job for Big O Aerospace. They made me a job offer to do their electrical for their space station design, but they decided to delay the start date. And in the meantime, Teledyne Brown made me an offer for the same money to stay here. And I thought, hey, wait, I go out there, take this money, stay here, get the money. But here I get to stay where my daughter was. My daughter, youngest daughter was still a little kid, and I wasn't fond of having to leave her. So I stayed here. Shaggy Alaska Soul is MIA. That's what I'm worried about. He's in the middle of a dangerous undertaking. I hope he's alive. I hope he's well. What he was proposing to do was kind of, I don't know, that would scare me. That would scare me. I've drove that, and I was worried driving. I dang sure would hate to hike it with a cart pulling a yurt. No response. Wow. Nobody's heard from Shaggy. If anybody hears from him, let me know. I hope he's okay. He is taking a dangerous mission, guys. I hope he survived. I hope he's well. Everybody say a prayer for him. And say a prayer for the continued recovery of New Days. She's doing pretty well, man. We've been missing her. Greg, we will be neighbors soon. There you go, Hawaii girl. Where you at? Yeah, I got a lot of friends out in Arizona. I'm looking forward to getting back out there. I made a few trips out there, just just hauling stuff out there. All right, guys, I got to run. It's 3 a.m. It's the time to get up. almost. Yikes. That's why you're not seeing so much of me. There's been several times I really wanted to do a video, but I couldn't keep my eyes open. Getting up early in the morning is real early. I have to get up real early now. So it's a challenge. So I hadn't seen Hawaii girl. Tell me where you're at. Or I guess you're from Hawaii. Still in Hawaii. Yeah, New Days. She'll probably watch the video later. She's doing well, as far as I can tell. I've not chatted with her much lately. I've been too busy to chat with anyone, which is not a good thing, really. I got some family getting together this weekend. I'm going to have to not go because I got to get my stuff packed up here. I got to get out of this place. I'm under some time pressure to do that. Anyway, thank you everyone for coming here. Thank you, super chatters. Thank you, mods. I've kept my channels clean. I appreciate that. So trolls dare not come here because I got the best mods in the world. You are the best audience. Appreciate you guys, your family. So thank you one and all for being here. To one and all, a good night. And with that, I say,